Good morning, everyone. All right, that's a very rare thing for me to say because my sleep schedule's always been completely backwards and I rarely wake up this early, but this is something that I just needed to get down right away. I'm also trying to fix my sleep schedule, of course. My previous job, again, messed it all up, so it's time to wake up early. Ben Franklin once said, "Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." But anyway, so let's talk about the channel name, the LJ Way. What is the LJ Way? Some of you guys know that it's my life philosophy. It's my way, but it didn't start that way. Okay, I didn't mean to rhyme that one, but anyway, I wanted to come up with a catchy username since I've always been using random ones, and it would help me identify who I am in an online presence, right? So I came up with names like LJ All the Way, LJ Leading the Way, something to rhyme with J and Way. And then I thought, keep it short and sweet, right? The LJ Way. And then I realized that is perfect. It's my way. This is my account. The things I post are the things I stand by with, right? Things that represent who I am. If you have a problem with that, just don't follow me, right? This is my account. And in a gaming sense, it's like I'm gaming the way I want to game. It's my unique way of playing. So that happened around sophomore to junior year of high school. Let's fast forward to when that username gained its significance, more meaning to it. Senior year of college, one of the last assignments I had to do was write my own autobiography. Now, of course, I had to follow a specific prompt, some guidelines of things to write about, but I expanded so much from what was required. All right, I poured my heart and soul. I was like, this is my autobiography. This is talking about my life, something that's very important. It's my life. I'm living it. And so I poured everything into that, spilled my heart out into that assignment. And fortunately, when it was time to submit our rough drafts, the next day my professor told the class I had the best autobiography she's ever read. And she talked to the text on my rough draft. She said a lot of things. She said things like, "I wish I was as wise as you during your age. This is the model autobiography." And in class, I was shocked, of course, but at the same time, I quickly went, damn right, I deserve that. I put my heart and soul into this. All right, so again, just know your worth, all right? One of the things we had to talk about, of course, was the 3 most important things that we've learned in life, of course, thus far in that writing. And the funny thing is, despite that being 3 years ago, a lot of things could happen within 3 years. Of course, a lot of things happen within this year, right? But a lot of those things still apply to my life today. They still occur in the present day. Those 3 things are, number 1, learn to love yourself. Number 2, give for the sake of giving. And number 3, appreciate every moment in your life as it happens. All of them are all interlinked and they're all related. So let's start with the first one, loving yourself. When you love yourself, you do things based on loving yourself, right? You're not gonna do things that are harmful to you, that are neglectful, and you're always gonna strive to become better and improve. You're gonna set goals to yourself, right? You're gonna strive to reach these goals. Whenever you're facing an obstacle, you're gonna always look at ways to overcome that. You're not gonna damage who you are physically and mentally. And there's that cliche saying, you gotta love yourself before you can love another person, right? It's not fair to the other person that you're in the relationship because you don't love yourself and you need their love for you. Because when you first love yourself, you're gonna become the best version that you can be independently. And when you're looking for that relationship, you're gonna find somebody, hopefully, in that same situation as you, that you can coexist with, you can cooperate with, you can tackle everything in your life with. And this is going to be the person that is going to convince you how much better you can be with them in your life, right? You became the best version that you could be independently, but now with them, you can become the best version that you can be, period. And of course, vice versa. Of course, it's got to reciprocate. All right. Any relationship, friendship, whatever it is, connection that you make with people, it's a two-way street. All right. Always be open. Always be communicative. Always be understanding of each other. Always acknowledge each other. Always respect each other. Forgive. Never forget. All right. Learn to forgive and never forget. Number 2, give for the sake of giving. What I mean by that is give in the most selfless sense. Don't take. When you approach things of giving and taking with other people, it's a form of control. It's manipulative. Okay, so for example, all right, let's say it's your friend's birthday and you give them a gift, and then your birthday comes around and you expect a gift out of them. That's controlling, right? You're expecting them to react just because you gave something to them. Hey man, remember I gave you something for your birthday, so you owe me back. If you hang things like that over their head and your head, you're not gonna form genuine relationships with people. It's mostly artificial. You're trying to control people, and you can't control people. The thing is, you have to give and understand that if this person doesn't give back, if they don't reciprocate, at least the people that matter in your life are gonna notice. They're gonna see what type of person you are. It's just such a bad look, to expect things out of people, to assume things. If the relationships you make with people are all give and taking, it's just a tug of war battle. The most valuable thing that I give people is my time. Why is it that valuable? Because time is limited. Your life is short. I always stress that. You don't know when your day is up or someone that you care about is gone from your life. Because again, time is something that you can't get back. It's the only luxury in this world. That leads to the third most important thing. Appreciate every single moment in your life as it occurs, right? The famous Emerson quote is, life is a journey, not a destination. If you appreciate moments in your life as it's happening, living in the present for the future, you're gonna live with less regrets. You're not gonna say things, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish things happened, whatever, right? You're always gonna move on from the past, you learn from it, and you do better at the current state, because you know that doing better currently is gonna lead to a better future. The ends justify the means. And of course it's great to have goals and look towards that destination, but remember, you're not gonna reach that destination, you're not gonna reach your goals if you don't take the steps towards it, if you don't make the systems that progress, the habits that you're gonna adopt. Let's say that your goal is to become better. Let's keep it broad, let's keep it general, all right? Let's say that your goal is to be better. How are you gonna get better? What specifically are you gonna get better at? Is it just, in general, become a better person? Define that. Define what's a better person to you. Look at what that is. Don't look at what other people's opinions of better is for you. Don't let the opinions of others affect who you are inside. So, look at your definition of better and strive to become that. If your goal is to become better, then you're never gonna settle, right? You always strive to become better. There's always room for improvement. That's something I always believe in. You're never gonna limit yourself. You said you want to become better, right? There's currently something in your life that you're not satisfied with, and you're gonna look into bettering your situation. To me, that's just the most open and stressless way of going about it. You want to become better. Who doesn't want to become better? Knowing that time is limited, and I'm not saying that you have to rush and beat time in order to go through life, right? In order to reach these goals, in order to become better. Remember to be patient with yourself. You have to work with time, right? Work with time. Acknowledge your pace. Everyone has their own pace of becoming who they want to become. Look into what yours is and don't rush it. So many people are so hard on themselves. They become overwhelmed, discouraged by a lot of things. And most of that is their thoughts and perception of themselves, which is another topic that I address in my autobio. The biggest thing that people are controlled by are the thoughts and perception of themselves. The moment you say, I can't do something, you set your limit. You've accepted it. You can't do something. You tried cooking, I just can't cook. Because you said that, are you gonna take the steps further to try to improve cooking? Something you lack. No, you accepted it already, right? You already said, I can't do it. That's it. It stops there. Say a more positive and encouraging thing to yourself. Just practice that, right? If you have a hard time believing in yourself, practice the littlest things that you can do to believe in yourself. Just remember that if you don't believe in yourself, there's people that care about you that believe in you. Always. And if you're doing things to yourself, think of how they're gonna see it, right? You care about these people and how it means to them. Try to make this selfish goal, the inner goal of yours, become selfless because you're thinking about the other people, the people that you care about. And that goes to failure to me. What defines failure to me? And failure to me is when you give up on yourself. As I just said, when you say things that limit yourself and you stop there, you're discouraged. You're suddenly losing faith in yourself. You gave up. To me, that's failure. And I'm never someone that lives that way. I always believe in the limitless possibilities. My life motto is anything is possible. Of course, gaining time back, is impossible. But I'm talking about anything is possible in a sense that the good and the bad can happen. The possibilities of fortunate events and unfortunate events can happen. Remember that. If you remember that good and bad things can happen to you like that, you're going to be less worried because you acknowledge that this is how life is. Life is never going to give you what you want. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And so you learn to work with that. If you're someone that lacks skill in a certain area and you look at somebody that has that skill, don't compare yourself. Right? Don't become jealous of it. The moment you compare, and I always say this, the moment you compare yourself to another person is self-destructive. You can assess, the differences that you have with other people, but be inspired by them. Look at these positive traits that they have and try to acquire that, right? And so, for example, if someone says all these positive things to me, right? Yes, I'm flattered. I'm very flattered that they want to have some of the qualities that I have, right? I'm very flattered. One of my goals is to have my character resonate to other people and uplift them, make them feel happy about themselves too. That's the reason why I'm the way I am. But honestly, for me, it would be better if someone wants to become better than me. Why? I'm always someone that wants to become better myself. So if you have these perceptions of me, these thoughts about me already, these labels, just remember that despite these labels, I want to become better than that. So you want to become better than me. Someone can say, LJ, you're so good at art. You're so good at sneaker designs, all right? They're amazing. They're awesome. or your cooking is amazing, right? Anything that you put out is so good and it looks good. Or your egg tarts, yo, your egg tarts are the best, LJ. You should really try to sell them. You should make a business out of them, right? To me, despite you defining my skill set, the way I think of it as, yeah, there are these things to you right now, but let me prove to you that they can become better. I'm always thinking of that mindset. These opinions that you have right now of me are just the current situation. But I can always work to overcome that. That's one of the things that helps drive me, right? I always want to improve. I always yearn to learn more about the things that I get so passionate about. I never settle with my current skill set because I know it can become better. It's like, yes, it's good to reflect and understand how good you are at something at the current state, but always remember you can become better. Anything is possible. So remember that we're all human, right? We all make mistakes. We all have faults. We all go through issues. We all go through hardships. Everyone's human. No one's perfect. But just remember that because this is human nature, learn to work with it. You're always going to go through these things in life. It's part of life. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make risks, right? Don't be afraid to make choices in your life. Because again, anything is possible, the good and the bad. Always acknowledge that. If you want to grow as a person, remember that you cannot grow without change. They're always linked together. Whether that's growing mentally or physically, right? I mean, human beings, we started as microorganisms, or let's go to biology. We're little microorganisms. Anything in life, right, is a microorganism, and it grows and sprouts and becomes things. Plants, trees, right? Like, come on, we all grow. We used to be kids. We used to be infants and babies. Come on now. Teenagers, remember our teenage years, guys? Like, everyone's going through life. Life is about change. Everything's changing around you. And if you don't learn to change with life around you, you cannot adapt. How are you going to survive? Guys, that's part of it. Don't be stagnant. If you're afraid to make mistakes, if you're afraid to make changes, if you're afraid to take these risks and choices that could potentially propel you towards life, life is going to go on and you're not. You're going to fall way back. And then all of a sudden, your time is up. Notice how everything I say is interlinked to each other. Because it is. This is life we're talking about. This is my philosophy. This is my outlook of it. And because of all this, it's helped me become more empathetic. It's helped me become more forgiving, more accepting, more acknowledging, more respectful. I'm never someone that hides how I feel. That's one of the hardest things for me to do, is hold in my feelings. I let it be known out there. I love to be open. Because when you're open to people, it helps them understand who you are. And when people understand who you are, they know how to work with you. They know how to cooperate with you. You form connections better connections, and more meaningful, genuine connections. If you're hiding who you are, if you put on a mask in front of people, specific people, whatever it is, that's how they're gonna see you as. But inside, you know that's not you. You're not being honest with yourself. And that's hard. To me, it's harder to put masks on in front of people than it is just to be yourself. Because you're gonna always live with that inner, without that inner peace. Because I'm not afraid to show my feelings, that means I'm not ashamed to cry. I'm not ashamed to express if I'm upset about something. I'm not afraid to show that I'm dissatisfied with something. I always have to share it with somebody. I'm not afraid to show my feelings. If I need to cry, I cry. I watch anime all the time. These films, man, they can get so heartbreaking, right? Or so touching. And you just can't help but cry about it. It's like, man, That's empathy, right? So sympathy is when you say, I understand how you're feeling, but empathy is when you put yourself in the other person's shoes. And then every time I talk about things I'm so passionate about, sometimes I do cry because I'm that passionate about it. It means that much to me. That's how much my heart and soul are within it. Wrap things up here. Love yourself. Give for the sake of giving. And appreciate every single moment in your life as they occur, because anything is possible. That's the LJ way.